welcome to Mind Unfiltered. Today in this episode, we're going to have Stefanos Tsitsipas with us.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Of course. It's a pleasure.
Shall we begin?
Of course, let's do it.
Great. So, how do you know when it's time to walk away from something or someone that isn't good for you?
Wow, that's a great question. These are the type of questions I don't get answered on a regular basis. So
I'd say toxicity is the number one thing that is something that I do pay attention to when I notice certain patterns or certain things that occur in my life. I feel like there's a lot of noise in today's life. There's a lot of toxicity flowing around. And it's really important to know what doesn't serve you and what serves you. The way I process it myself, I believe, is by reading patterns and reading how those patterns affect my mood, how they affect my daily life, how they affect my balance in whatever I'm trying to do. So based on those type of things, I'm able to read whether those things actually serve me or they don't. And I try and obviously remove them from my life. So my advice would definitely be to see how certain things make you feel and not kind of base that on entirely like a one-time experience and more of a daily sort of reflection of how it responds to you if that happens a couple of times. In whatever situation that might be, whether it's a person or a certain thing that happens or occurs in your life, that would be my advice.
You became successful and famous at a very young age. How would you say that this affected your character, or how did you manage to stay grounded and not let it carry you away or interfere with your character?
My character, I would say, is I have a great relationship with myself. What I mean by that is I know how to read myself quite well. I know how to process my emotions and what do those emotions kind of mean to me. So from a very young age, I felt like those type of things were easy for me to process and understand in my daily life. I believe my discipline was very important in terms of building a career of what I wanted to do. It was definitely one of those elements within my character that kept me going regardless of the situation or the circumstance. Obviously, success brings a lot of positive emotions and makes you, in ways, feel invincible. So it is important, something that my parents instilled in me, to stay disciplined and remind yourself that you're just a tennis player and stay humble, regardless of whether you're the number one player in the world, regardless of whether you're winning Grand Slams or not. Still gotta stay on your feet and keep on going. I have a bad relationship with arrogance. I personally hate it. I hate when people are like that. And my biggest fear would be to be known as an arrogant person and someone that is perceived that way. So the last thing I want is to give that
image,
because I really don't like it when I see it on other people. And I think the nicest things that I've experienced in life is through people that are humble, people that are generous, people that are charismatic in what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. So what's one belief or mindset that helped you get through your hardest moments? Something which you wish every teenager could hear and you would advise them to follow?
I've been through a fair share of hardships in the past. I think that what I do is very intense and very hard-lived, if there's an expression of demanding. So I've had a few burnouts occur to me over my career where I didn't want to grab a tennis racket. I didn't want to be a tennis player anymore. I kind of doubted why I chose to do this, and it's really tough on my mental health and my well-being. And these thoughts obviously occurred to me during my career. It would be unfair to say they didn't, because I went through so many moments that I never really exposed, never really showed to people, because it's not a nice image to show to a small kid that's dreaming, to see that this is sort of the reality of it all. But at the same time, it's important to show it because that's just part of the journey. And I think that's not only related to sports. I think it's in most intense things that you're trying to do in a career. These are the type of things that you're going to be facing at some point in your life. There are lessons from all of those things that have taught me a valuable thing. They have strengthened my relationship with myself, which is interesting because the way I saw it was I discovered that type of thing later in my life. That these things kind of teach me non-stop. I just need to kind of pick up the right pieces and put them together and understand that this is all a lesson. For me, it's important to know when to work hard and when to take rest off because in my job, in what I do, if I keep on going 100% every single day, if I don't know how to disconnect, if I don't know how to calm down a little bit and then take that as a momentum to go up again, it's not going to serve me great. And I suggest to the youngest people out there to know their life balances and to focus on their life balances and what makes them happy in terms of how to combine the thing that they love the most. In my case, it's tennis, and how to let go sometimes and do other stuff that might be more spiritual, fulfilling. I have things that inspire me more spiritually, other things that inspire me more, how can I say, physically. Like I like going to the gym. It helps my physicality, and it's really nice knowing that I can go to the gym and feel good being there. Spiritually, I just love reading books. I love cinematography. I love filmmaking. These are the type of things that feel liberating to me. I like that creative side because it's such a way to let go from tennis. And the small things in life, just enjoy the small things in life. I think that with people sometimes they focus too much on success, money, fame. It will happen, and it's inevitable because it will happen to most of the people that are trying to be successful in something. These type of things will get to you at some point, even though you might say, I don't care about those things. Life is very challenging, and as humans, we're very selfish in a lot of ways. It is very important to remember your humanity. I was trying to reconnect with my humanity. It actually makes me feel that all of these things don't matter as much as I think. That's what my therapist told me once when was going through those moments. He told me, Steph, I think what you're dealing with, I think the problem with you is your touch with humanity. You have lost touch with your own humanity, and you have to find a way to reconnect with it. And I found that it spoke more words to me to this phrase itself. What he told me meant more than just that phrase. Yeah, it was a deeper rooted sort of connection to it.
It's hard to overcome. Like it requires a lot of time and effort.
It does require time. It does require patience. And my way of how I would encourage others to approach it is to know how to let go sometimes. You can't be in control all the entire time. Sometimes you just gotta let go.
True. How important is it, in your opinion, for young athletes to seek support, whether it's from coaches, psychologists, or even peers, when dealing with mental health challenges?
I will be very supportive of having a network of people that you trust by your side that can help you deal with whatever you're going through in life. Me personally, I would very much like to be involved in the future with mental health because I realize the importance of it and the effect it had in my own life. And something I haven't been too vocal about in recent years. But I'm planning definitely at some point to talk further and more about it. I had a few struggles in 2024 and 2023 that occurred to me out of nowhere, and I never sort of expected myself to be found in a situation like this. I wouldn't say that my place was, I wasn't at my optimal place. I wasn't used to feel that way. And I never thought that Stefanos Tsitsipas myself would be ever feeling that. I have neglected it and I thought of it as a taboo thing in the past. But that experience definitely changed my perception of the whole matter. And I would definitely encourage people to take it more seriously. I feel like with social media today, people being constantly exposed to to this type of stimulants that can be very addicting. And I have a younger sister, and I tell her a lot of the time, careful of this type of things. We're living in a completely different world of what we were used to live 30 years ago. The world has changed a lot, and I feel like those type of things, they come with some downside. So we have to be careful with excess, and we have to know when to regulate and to stop as well.
I think that's very important, to be able to put boundaries.
Right.
If you could say to your 15-year-old self and give him only one piece of advice, what would it be?
To enjoy the journey. I feel like I was chasing too much. I was putting unnecessary pressure on myself, stress, that I need to achieve certain things by a certain age, just because some of my peers did, or some other competitors, or some other legends of the sport have done certain things.
Yeah.
I constantly had this feeling of wanting to prove myself something and prove that I might be doing more than what those people are doing. I would encourage people not to think that way. Some people become presidents when they're 50. Some others reach the peak of their career when they're 22. So it all comes in different sort of parts of your life. I personally think I haven't peaked yet in what I've done, and that my time will come in a few years from now. And I just need to be patient and trust the journey and the process. And I have to fall in love with the process. That's the idea of what I'm trying to instill within myself, that I'm not playing for the result tomorrow. I just want to enjoy the whole journey and not focus too much on my destination. And that's important to me specifically, because if I'm not going to enjoy it, I'm going to be miserable playing on the tour, fighting on the tour, and fighting with my inner self at the same time. So it's not going to be an enjoyable ride. I want to actually take every single moment, put it together, and be thankful for what I have in my life.
I think grasping the moment is very important in many aspects. I think if you just focus on the present, it can help in many different ways than focusing on the past or what's going to happen in the future.
With the smallest things that you can have in life as well.
Yeah. And last question. When things get tough, what's your happy place?
When things get tough, I always think of my hometown, the view from my little house that I have in Villamenni, the place I grew up. I grew up in a beautiful, blessed place of the world that not many people can call home. And I think of the view that I get outside my house, which is probably one of the nicest views that I have experienced in life. I have traveled all over the world. I've been in every corner around the globe, and this place that I actually visited yesterday keeps me happy. And I think it puts a silent smile on my face, in my mind somewhere. And it's one of those places that never disappoint. I can always go back there. I can always get back to my town and feel like I just don't need anything else in the world. I don't need luxury. I don't need money. I don't need fame. I don't need success to be happy and live there. And that's the place that regulates my emotions. It brings rhythm and balance in my life. And it makes me feel grateful for the life and the childhood that I've had, and the transition to what I am now, the 26-year-old Steph.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.